Start the clock.
This is Valley View News.
Hello and welcome to Valley View News. I'm Natalie Hanasab.
And I'm Medhani Hapche. We have breaking news this evening from New York. The family of actress Natasha Richardson has confirmed she has died after a skiing accident. Our entertainment reporter will have more on that story later in the broadcast.
President Obama's first official two-day tour of Southern California kicks off with a town hall meeting in Orange County. Right now, Obama is speaking at the Orange County Fairgrounds in Costa Mesa about current economic conditions. The crowd poured in by the hundreds as many waited for hours to catch a glimpse of the president. The event is free, although a ticket is required to enter the conference. Tomorrow, Obama will travel to Los Angeles to another open town hall meeting to discuss economic issues. Obama will then end his trip with an appearance on The Tonight Show with Jay Leno.
Our reporter talks to CSUN students about what they would ask President Obama if given the chance to meet him.
If he feels at all or constant fear that something might happen to him, or, because since he's a minority.
What he could do to help the entertainment industry in Southern California more. I know I'll be graduating soon, so when I get out, I'm going to be looking for a job.
Longtime Bernie Madoff accountant David Frayling is under arrest on fraud charges today. Prosecutors say Frayling let Madoff's books slide off his desk without scrutiny for years. Frayling's work allegedly covered up years of illegitimate investing by Madoff. The Securities and Exchange Commission say Frayling falsely conducted minimal audit procedures while failing to document his findings. Frayling accepted over $12,000 per month for helping Madoff. If convicted, he could face up to 105 years in prison. Madoff pleaded guilty last week and in prison waiting for his sentencing.
Defense Secretary Robert Gates says the military will be phasing out its stop-loss program. The practice involved holding troops beyond the end of their enlistments. Today's decision comes with an announcement that soldiers affected by the program will receive an extra $500 a month bonus while in extended service. Since January, more than 13,000 soldiers had their tours extended under the policy.
The Obama administration is sending federal agents to help in the battle against Mexican drug cartels on the southwest border. Immigration officials want to move money from investigations into illegal hiring to the effort against drug-related crime along the border. The reinforcements would double the amount of agents controlling the border violence. Mexican officials say over 1,000 people have already been killed this year in the drug violence. President Obama is scheduled to visit Mexico next month.
Airline travelers will have to plan ahead to be on time for their flights since security may take longer than usual. The Transportation Service Administration says they will be screening more passengers at security gates, but not because of any specific threat. Gate screening was implemented after the September 11th attacks. However, it ended in 2003 after the TSA began screening all checked bags. A TSA spokesperson says random gate screening provides an extra layer of security to prevent weapons or other contrabands from getting on board. Signs at gates have been placed to inform passengers of random screenings.
The Czech Republic has canceled a parliamentary vote to allow the U.S. to use the country as a key piece in its proposed missile defense system. The Prime Minister says he knows the measure would lose. President Obama wants to use the new defense system to counter Iranian nuclear activity. Obama is hoping Russia will weaken its objections to the defense program, possibly swaying the Czech Prime Minister's decision. The Czech Republic could put two treaties regarding the defense system up for a vote in Parliament at a later date.
North Korea's Prime Minister is in Beijing today, meeting with Chinese leaders on the 60th anniversary of the two countries' bilateral relations. The visit involving Kim Jong-il is centered around Pyongyang's nuclear and missile programs. The Chinese say they are concerned about North Korea's plans to launch a communication satellite next month. The U.S. and China say the launch is most likely a test of a ballistic missile. A Pentagon general says he has no problem with shooting down the North Korean rocket if it's considered to threaten America. The North Koreans have refused to call off the launch and warned that shooting the rocket down may be considered an act of war. North Korea agreed to end its nuclear programs in 2007 in exchange for energy aid and other diplomatic concessions. Also today, North Korea has rejected food aid from the United States despite suffering from chronic food shortages.
A surprising new twist has developed in the case of an Austrian man accused of incest and murder. Joseph Fritzl has pled guilty to all charges against him, including imprisoning his daughter for decades and fathering her 7 children. Fritzl says his change of heart came after seeing his daughter's heart-wrenching video testimony. The charges include homicide and the death of one of the children, as well as enslavement, rape, incest, forced imprisonment, and coercion. Legal experts say the jury will deliver verdicts despite Fritzl's guilty pleas, but it could be grounds for a lesser sentence.
Pope Benedict has refused to ease the Vatican's policy on condom use. His statement comes during his first visit to Africa, where AIDS affects more people than any other continent in the world. The Pope is still considering allowing condom use for married couples. More than 22 million people have HIV in sub-Saharan Africa.
John Walker Lynn, known as the so-called American Taliban, will finally soon be able to tell more people his side of the story. Federal prison officials announced they're easing restrictions on the 28-year-old Fairfax, California native who is serving a 20-year sentence without the possibility of parole. The Justice Department says all special administrative measures against Lind will be relaxed on Friday. As part of the changes, officials are now expanding the number of people with whom Lind can communicate with. U.S. officials captured Lind during the invasion of Afghanistan just after the attacks on 9/11.
It's currently a warm 80 degrees here in Northridge. It will stay warm and sunny throughout the week with highs in the 70s. It's nice weather for swimming or lying out and working on your tan. There's little wind and few clouds until this weekend. It will cool down to the mid-60s Saturday and Sunday with a chance of rain. And now we're on to business news with Brittany Glover.
The stock market closes up again today for the sixth time in 7 sessions. The Federal Reserve announced that it would buy up to $300 billion worth of long-time treasuries in order to reduce interest rates and ease the flow of credit. Major U.S. indexes have responded by posting gains. The Dow Jones finished up about 90 points, the NASDAQ finished up about 29 points, and the S&P 500 closed up 16 points. The recession is forcing more and more companies to lay off their workers as a way of saving money. But while layoffs might seem like the easiest way out of debt, it turns out they're more expensive in the long run. Layoffs can hurt the brand equity of a company as well as bring down the company's stock in the long run. Survivors of the company's layoffs tend to live with the fear of losing their jobs and file more medical claims as a result. Slashing jobs increase the risk of firing future company leaders, leaving the businesses with inexperienced and unqualified employees. People are being advised to be aware of financial and consumer scams during the current economic crisis. During the Consumer Federation of America conference in Washington, D.C., state consumer protection regulators spoke about the increase of fraud. Regulators say to avoid becoming a victim of fraud, beware of cold callers and avoid paying government grant fees on the internet. If you believe you have been scammed, you may file a complaint with your state Consumer Protection Bureau. Kanye West is facing 3 criminal charges for an altercation with 2 photographers. The incident took place last September at Los Angeles International Airport while West was traveling with his manager. West is facing vandalism, battery, and grand theft charges, and if convicted, could spend up to 2 years, 6 months in jail. His manager, Don Crowley, is also facing charges for the scuffle with paparazzi. Wedding bells are in the future for Christina Ricci. The actress is engaged to her actor and comedian boyfriend, Owen Benjamin. The couple began dating last November after meeting on the movie set of All's Fair in Love. They have not yet set a wedding date. 2 of Nadia Solman's newborn octuplets are at their La Habra home. Paparazzi news reporters and onlookers swarmed the car as the single mother of 14 drove up in her driveway. Noah and Isaiah are the first of the 8 babies to be taken home after their birth on January 26. The 2 were released from Kaiser Permanente Medical Center after hospital officials said Solman could provide a safe home for the infants. Hospital officials say the remaining 6 babies continue to progress well. This afternoon, the family of actress Natasha Richardson confirmed she has died of a traumatic head injury suffered while skiing at a resort in Quebec. The Tony Award-winning actress was married to actor Liam Neeson. She and Neeson have 2 sons. She was also the daughter of Oscar winner Vanessa Redgrave. Richardson fell during a ski lesson at Monte Tremblant. About an hour later, she complained of a severe headache and was taken to a nearby hospital and then transferred to New York for further treatment. Richardson was 45.
I'm Alan Carter.
I'm Natalie Hanasab.
Go Matadors, I'm Medhani Hapte.
And I'm Brittany Glover.
And from all of us here at Valley View News, join us again, would you, next week.